Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for April 5, 2024. And in the news this evening, sentencing of Shanika Gray's killer deferred to April 12. Gregory Roberts, the man convicted of the 2017 murder of 15-year-old schoolgirl Shanika Gray, will have to wait until April 12 to learn how much time he will have to spend behind the bars. Roberts was given the new court date and was remanded following his latest appearance today in the St. James Circuit Court. The court was advised that the new date, which will mark the third day of Roberts' ongoing sentencing hearing, will allow Presiding High Court Justice Bertram Morrison enough time to go through the lawyers' submissions in order to render a clear sentence. Prior to the new date being set, lead prosecutor Andrea Martin Swaby delivered her closing statements in which she urged Justice Morrison to give Roberts a sentence of life imprisonment with a parole to be considered after an initial 50-year prison term. Martin Swaby cited several aggravating factors to justify the proposed sentence, including 2 convictions that Roberts had prior to his murder of Gray on January 29, 2017. Those convictions include a suspended sentence for simple larceny in 2014 and a 6-month term for escaping custody in 2016. Can this court find that Mr. Roberts can truly be rehabilitated? There's a habitual level of criminality that is being demonstrated, and not just habitual but escalating, Martin Swaby asserted. That declaration ran counter to the claim made by defense attorney Chuma Paris in his closing submission on Thursday that Roberts was capable of reformation. Paris had urged Morrison to impose a starting sentence of between 20 and 25 years imprisonment. Roberts was found guilty of Gray's murder at the close of his trial on January 24 this year. Gray, a grade 10 student of the Green Pond High School in St. James, was last seen alive in Montego Bay on January 29, 2017, while on her way home from a schoolmate's funeral. Her body was found with multiple stab wounds in bushes in the Irwin community 3 days later. Mother and daughter charged with the St. Elizabeth farmer's murder. The St. Elizabeth police have charged a mother and a daughter pair for the murder of Francois Vassell, a 23-year-old farmer of Roses Valley District in St. Elizabeth on Monday. They are 24-year-old Amanda Stewart and 43-year-old Lisa Muir, both of Roses Valley District. The police say about 2:45 a.m., Vassell and Stewart, with whom he was in a relationship, were engaged in a dispute that escalated into a physical altercation. Stewart's mother, Muir, reportedly joined the altercation armed with a machete. Vassell sustained multiple wounds and was subsequently transported to hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. The women's court dates are being arranged. 3 injured after car crashes into tour bus in St. Anne. 3 people narrowly escaped death on Friday morning after a Toyota Probox motorcar collided with a tour bus along the Runaway Bay Main Road in St. Anne. They were taken to hospital with serious injuries. The latest crash in the parish occurred about 8:30 in the vicinity of the Club Ambiance Resort. According to reports, the driver of the Probox was transporting 2 people to the Sangsar International Airport when he overtook a line of traffic. Approaching a corner, he failed to keep left and slammed into the tour bus that was returning from the airport. The 3 occupants of the car sustained serious injuries. They were removed from the vehicle by firefighters and transported in an ambulance to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital. The driver of the tour bus, who was the sole occupant, was not injured. The accident caused a traffic snarl that was quickly cleared by the police. Municipal courts in Portmore and the Spanish Town operational. Mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, says municipal courts in the city municipality and the Spanish Town are operational. But Mr. Thomas says he is hopeful that hearings on parochial matters at the courthouse in Greater Portmore will increase beyond the first Thursday of each month. He said the court in Spanish Town meets more frequently, and as a result, most offenses in Portmore are heard there to quickly dispose of the cases. The municipal courts hear cases having to do with owed property taxes, breaches by vendors, and building breaches, among other things. Mr. Thomas said that from January to March, the Portmore Municipal Corporation took 46 cases to the municipal court in Spanish Town. 6 cases were heard at the Portmore Court in January and March. Bench warrants were issued for some individuals who failed to make an appearance. Mr. Thomas provided the clarification on the municipal courts in St. Catherine in an interview Thursday after Chairman of the Public Health and Sanitation Committee of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, Sidney Rose, called for a municipal court to be established in Spanish Town.
We take like property tax, people who owe property tax to these court, and we also take vendors to the court, and we take breaches. But what really happen like with the breaches, we normally depends on the lawyer to represent us at these court. Especially in Spanish Town, we deal with those bigger matters. But we also take them to Greater Portmore Court. I think that there are room for improvement. We'd like to see the matters more look at in Portmore especially, so that we can have the matters of street vending, illegal building and things like that, construction, look at more seriously in Portmore. And I think that, for the rest of the year, we are going to see a marked improvement because we are looking how we are going to increase our municipal police presence within the municipal corporation.
Police seeking Lady Musgrave Road robbers, gun seized. The St. Andrews Central Police are seeking to capture gunmen who crashed into a concrete wall along Lady Musgrave Road following a robbery earlier this morning. The police say they recovered a Smith & Wesson revolver with a magazine containing 2 rounds of ammunition. Reports are that about 4 a.m., lawmen responded to reports of a robbery along the mentioned roadway. Their pursuit was terminated after the armed men driving the motor vehicle crashed into a concrete wall and ran, leaving behind the weapon, which was recovered on the floor of the car. Investigations continue. 2 men charged over Christmas Day gun attack in Old Harbour Bay. 2 men have been charged in relation to a Christmas Day 2023 gun attack on a man along a dirt track in Berksfield Meadows, Old Harbour Bay, St. Catherine. Charged with wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, and being a part of a criminal organization are 28-year-old Sheldon Brown, otherwise called the 12, of Terminal Road in the parish, and the 20-year-old Gregory Henry of Wildman Town, Portland Cottage, Clarendon. Reports from the Old Harbour Bay Police are that about 12 a.m., Brown, Henry, and the 2 other men, all armed with handguns, ambushed a man along a dirt track in the community. They opened a fire at him, hitting him in the abdomen before escaping on foot in the area. The injured man was taken to the hospital where he was treated. Brown and Henry were taken into custody after their attorney handed them over to the police. Charges were subsequently laid on Tuesday, April 2. Their court date is being finalized. PSTEB to target young drivers in renewed road safety campaign. There is to be a renewed public education campaign to target young drivers. The police say the majority of crashes have involved people, particularly men in the 18 to 39 age cohort. Assistant Commissioner Gary McKenzie, head of the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, says a poor decision-making, counter to the road traffic law, is behind many of the multiple vehicle collisions.
If you take, for instance, the one that's in 3 lives in Centre, this is a properly laid out road, properly marked. At that time of the evening, there was not a lot of traffic, yet someone finds the time to drive at a speed which is not required along that road, and then go to the left, the right of the road for some reason, and cause this major catastrophe. And we have seen a number of these crashes. One of the things we are also looking at is to see how we can get to these younger persons more. So, we are on traditional media. There, are excerpts in papers and so on, but we are seeking to be a little bit more aggressive on the social media platform to see how best we can get to more of these persons within the age group. One of the things that I believe that we have to do as well is to see how we can work to get more of our adolescents, persons who are just leaving high schools or who are in the colleges to get more interested in what is happening with road safety. Road safety right now is a way of life. It is really very interesting because 20 or 30 years ago when we have some crashes, we would try to ascertain whether or not these vehicles are roadworthy. What we are seeing nowadays is that a lot of the vehicles that are involved in crashes are vehicles that are in pretty good condition.